Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're honored to have the privilege of welcoming you all to this great event, Journée Franco-Égyptienne de la Science, which is organized by the National Research Center, the Embassy of France, and the French Institute in Egypt. We're always keen on strengthening the Egyptian-French scientific relations through intensifying mutual cooperation in the scientific and academic research fields. These relations have been prominent since the ages and will witness significant developments in the future. Let's now welcome Mr. Jean-Luc Lavaux, the French Counselor for the Cooperation and the Cultural Affairs at the Embassy of France in Egypt, who also proposed the initiative for carrying out this day. Please, Mr. Lavaux.
Professor Azem Mansour, Assistant of the Minister of Scientific Research. Professor Hani El-Shemi, Vice President of the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology. Professor Ashraf Shalan, President of the National Research Center, and our host. Dear professors, dear researchers, first of all, I would like to deeply thank the National Research Center President for his warm hospitality today. The scientific relationship between France and Egypt has always played a very strong role in fostering our bilateral history. One shouldn't refer to the Napoleon Bonaparte expedition, denying that it was, first of all, a military campaign, of course, but as you all know, it was also the starting point of a mutual and everlasting fascination of French scientists for Egypt and of Egyptian scientists for France. After the famous Description de l'Égypte by the scientist who traveled with Bonaparte during his campaign, the deciphering of the hieroglyphs by Champollion, or the work of Antoine Barthélemy Claude in the Egyptian health system are just some examples of the fascination of the French scientists. On the Egyptian side, and at the same time, we have to mention the travel of Rifa al-Tantawi to France, or the transformation of downtown Cairo on the urban model of Paris. But those scientific connections are not just a matter of history. Indeed, scientific research can provide us with an opportunity to tackle some challenges that both of our countries will have to face in the future. Under this perspective, scientific research should remain one of the pillars of our bilateral relation, as all Mediterranean countries will have to find common solutions in the domain of renewable energy and energy efficiency, providing water in quantity and in quality to all kinds of users, upgrading our environment and protecting threatened ecosystems, facing new health problems. Giving science a serious role in our diplomatic action should not be limited to speech, of course. In order to match our words to action, 10 years ago, the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Egyptian Academy of Scientific Research and Technology agreed upon launching the IMOTEP program in order to finance bilateral scientific projects. Since 2005, and it's been 10 years this year, more than 120 French-Egyptian scientific research projects have been supported in all kinds of domains, either in pure basic sciences or in applied sciences. In this respect, some of them were directly focused on some very concrete problems, such as limiting the pollution caused by agriculture, increasing the efficiency of solar cells, creating new biomaterials for implants in medicine. So the list is longer. I just wanted to give you these 3 examples. Considering the interest of many of those projects, both the French and the Egyptian party decided in 2013 to increase the funds proposed to each project up to 20,000 euro per project for 2 years.
For not being able to be here, but today is Wednesday, and Wednesday is the weekly meeting of the cabinet, so he could not come. Now I'll give my word. Mr. Jean-Luc Lavaux, Counselor for Culture and Cooperation at the French Embassy, Director of the French Institute of Egypt, Professor Dr. Ashraf Shaalan, President of the National Research Center, Professor Dr. Hani Shimi, Acting Vice President of the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology, Professor Dr. Ikram Fatin, former Vice President of the NRC, distinguished professors, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be here with you today to celebrate together the French-Egyptian Day of Science. This gathering symbolizes the commitment of our 2 countries to the continuation of a long-standing collaboration in scientific research, and confirms the dedication and eagerness of our researchers to work together to build a better future for the coming generations in our 2 great countries. I would like to seize this opportunity to thank Professor Ashraf Shaalan and everyone at the National Research Center, not only for hosting this important event, but also for playing a leading role as Egypt's biggest multidisciplinary research center in supporting the research collaboration between Egypt and France over the years, and for making it possible for Egyptian scientists to conduct high-quality research using state-of-the-art equipment and facilities in a healthy research atmosphere that brings out the creativity and innovation that are strongly needed in addressing the many challenges facing our country. At this point in our history, scientific cooperation with our friends in France is of special importance. In Egypt, we are now on the threshold of a new era in which we bear the historic responsibility of rebuilding our country. In the new Egypt, the ultimate goal of the scientific community must be to make a real and significant contribution to the sustained growth of our national economy and to the building of a strong and modern new Egypt. To reach this goal, we need to adopt policies and strategies that encourage creativity by researchers and which respond to the immediate problems that hinder the country's economic and social development. Such strategies must include strengthening the bonds of research collaboration with other countries such as France, which share the same geographic area and which have the same problems that need to be addressed by the scientific community. The cultural and scientific collaboration between Egypt and France goes back a long way. For almost 2 centuries, Egyptian scholars have been studying at French universities, mostly in the fields of social sciences and humanities. Some of the greatest names in the history of Egyptian culture, such as Rafa'at Tahtawi, Muhammad Abdu, Taha Hussein, Naguib Mahfouz, and many others, have studied in France and returned to Egypt with new ideas that considerably influenced the lives of many generations of Egyptians. French scientists and historians have also always been fascinated by Egyptian culture and history. It was a Frenchman, Jean-François Champollion, who founded the science of Egyptology, conducted an archaeological expedition to Egypt, and deciphered the Egyptian hieroglyphics engraved on the Rosetta Stone. By doing so, he enabled the world to better understand its history, and he created an ever-growing interest by historians around the world in studying the great civilization of ancient Egypt. In recent history, with the creation of the Union for the Mediterranean and the EU framework programs, the Egyptian-French scientific collaboration has gained a renewed strength. Egypt and France have now become strategic partners in the science communication between Egypt and the European Union. Researchers and research institutions in the 2 countries have been working together in several FP7 projects and will continue to work together in other new projects under the recently launched Horizon 2020 program. For the past 7 years, the Research Development and Innovation Program, the RDI, at the Ministry of Scientific Research, has been playing a vital role in facilitating the scientific cooperation activities between Egyptian and European researchers and research institutions, with French researchers being at the heart of such activities. The Egyptian Academy of Scientific Research and Technology, through the Imhotep program, has also played an active role in strengthening the Egyptian-French scientific collaboration. Since the launching of the program in 2005, scientists from the two countries have conducted many joint research projects and have organized several workshops and seminars on subjects of mutual interest. In November 2013, the Imhotep agreement was renewed for a period of 5 years, thus allowing more researchers from the two countries to take advantage of scientific collaboration opportunities that are offered by the program. Another important organization that contributed considerably to strengthening the research collaboration between France and Egypt is the Science and Technology Development Fund, better known as STDF. Through its agreement with the Institute of Research for Development, the IRD in France, the STDF has co-funded many joint research projects, and scientists from the two countries have exchanged visits during which they shared their experience and knowledge, hence strengthening their capacities to conduct more innovative and original research.
And I will try to be brief because I'm gonna deliver the presentation today regarding science and technology and innovation over Egypt. So let me start to hit the point directly. What your expectation today for the joining of the scientists from French and from Egyptian side? So I myself expected so much to establishment the networking among the scientists in both and thematics area regarding the information technology, regarding the applied mathematics, regarding the material science and food security. I wish today we can just get deep discussions in scientists. Also, I wish today, and I will hear today what's going on in both sides. We want to put in the tables such kind of stones to discuss regarding what our expectations and what is the end of today for your discussions. Let me thank the Egyptian scientist, especially Dr. Ikram Fatin. She is behind in these initiatives, and also Mr. Guillaume from French side. And let me also end my speech with final speech to thank Professor Ashraf Sha'lan to host this event. Also Professor Hazim Mansour to be with us today, and Mr. Liviu as French consular here in Egypt. Thank you very much, and I wish you success day and wonderful day, and thank you.
It's now time for the welcoming note of the hosting institute, the National Research Center, presented by its president, Professor Dr. Ashraf Sha'lan.
Thank you all. Good morning, everybody. Our professors, our dear guests, our colleagues, our students, Mr. Hazim Mansour, on behalf of the Dr. Sharif Hamad, the Minister of Scientific Research, and Professor Hani Shimi, on behalf of Professor Mahmoud Saqr, the President of the ASRT in Egypt, Monsieur Jean-Luc Lavon, the French Counselor for Cooperation, and Professor Ikram Fatin, the former Vice President of National Research Center. Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to host you here in the National Research Center on behalf of all Egyptian institutions to witness this day of cooperation between Egypt and France. Actually, we are expecting too much work from the networking, which will be able to be created today, and we are expecting a lot of proposals for joint research projects to be applied to the funding agencies and the programs which are already present between Egypt and France, which is Imhotep program. I was lucky that I was on the board for 2 years between 2008 and 2009 of Imhotep program, and actually it was developed later on and the amount of fund is increased, and the chances for funding more and more numbers of projects are available. So please don't hesitate to make interactions between the Egyptian and the French professors, and to come up with a large number of proposals to be submitted. Also, I would like to thank CNRS for its huge input today. And I personally visited CNRS in 2009, and I was very impressed with the scope, with the projects available, and with the role of CNRS in making the decision in France. So I would like also to get you in the programs of CNRS to be close with the scientists from there, and we are lucky that many professors from CNRS are present today, and they will present the chances and the research topics which are hosted in CNRS in France. Again, the program is very rich, and also it concentrated on specific issues, which is very important too. If each one is very important, and all of them are the top priorities for Egyptian government, the energy and water desalination, food and agriculture, application of the research output in the industry, computer sciences and mathematics, earth and space sciences, environment. So please concentrate on these issues when you are talking about new projects and new applications in the field of science. Let me speak very shortly in Arabic, because we have some media channels, so I would prefer to give a very short note in Arabic. السادة الزملاء والأساتذة، أرحب بكم جميعا وأهلا وسهلا بحضراتكم في رحاب المركز القومي للبحوث لحضور هذا اليوم العلمي الهام بين مصر وفرنسا. التعاون بيننا وبين مصر، بيننا وبين فرنسا كتير جدا، وأشار إليه الدكتور حازم بتفاصيل، وأشار إليه مسيو لافو بتفاصيل، وأتمنى أن يستمر هذا التعاون وينتج عنه مشروعات بحثية كثيرة تقدم إلى الجهات المانحة، ويأتي على رأسها طبعا STDF في مصر والEU Commission والبرنامج المخصص للتعاون المصري الفرنسي، وهو برنامج يطلق عليه إمحتب، يمول من وزارة البحث العلمي وهوستد في STDF. واعتقد ان هو من البرامج الناجحه جدا، وانا يعني سعدت ان انا شاركت في مجلس اداره هذا البرنامج لمده سنتين من 2008 ل 2009، وكان العمل دؤوب جدا من الباحثين المصريين والفرنسيين، وفيما بعد تطور هذا البرنامج وزاد تمويله وزادت الفرص فيه. فلو سمحتم ده ارض خصبه ل يعني التمويل التعاون العلمي بيننا وبين فرنسا. فأتمنى لحضراتكم يوم حافل بالتفاعل والعلم، بالذات أن المواضيع المطروحة على أجندة هذا اليوم هي مواضيع تهم جدا المواطن المصري، وتهم جدا خطط التنمية في الدولة، وعلى رأسها الطاقة والمياه والبيئة والزراعة والتطبيقات التكنولوجية في الحوسبة وخلافه. بشكر حضراتكم على وجودكم معنا، وبشكر حضراتكم كثيرا جدا على الاوتبوت المتوقع خروجه من هذا السيمينار ان شاء الله في الفترة القليلة القادمة من تفاعل حضراتكم اليوم مع العلم والتطور العلمي في فرنسا. Thank you all again, and I wish you a very pleasant stay in Egypt, our guests, and I wish you a very successful day in the premises of National Research Center. Thank you all, and have a good day.
Thanks, Dr. Ashraf. We're really happy to receive you all here today. Right now we're going to proceed directly to the plenary session lectures, which will be conducted by Dr. Ikram Fatin, NRC National Research Center, followed by Dr. Arnaud Lalo, CNRS. Please, and to be followed by a short coffee break. Please refer to your programs for the rest of the day. Thank you.